Hello Chroma devs. So here we have a new text tool for creating scrolling text. If I turn the preview on and stop the frame offset here. So this will automatically create a scrolling text Chroma animation. So you can see the text is showing on the keyboard and the various devices. With this tool, you can dynamically change the text. So if I want to say hello world, you can use the slider to see where it starts and stops. Hello world. Okay. And you can adjust the FX offset here so that we start at the very beginning. Right there. Okay. So with this tool, it will automatically scroll the text. You can see the speed here. So -1 means scroll and wrap perfectly one time over the frame cap, or this is the number of frames for the animation. So animations will play back at 30 frames a second, so it's like a 10-second animation. You can adjust the length of the frames, so if your frames means faster scrolling text, or you could go longer. There's also, go back to 300. You can also set the thickness for an outline on the letters. So if you want to add some color to your scrolling text, you can change the outline color over here. And you can change your text color here. While you're previewing, you can hit the play button, and that will show the scrolling text on your hardware. And all this runs in the browser, so that's nice. So this is one way you can add color. Another way is to use this with some of these other tools that are along the top here. So if we set the outline thickness to 0, and just go to a white. Okay, so while text is scrolling, if you hit the Start Capture button here, it will start the frame offset at 0 and start capturing, and you'll get a 300-second animation that perfectly wraps with the scrolling text. Okay, and once that's done, here we go. Now we have the animation scrolling, and it's saved to an animation. So from here, you can name your animation and download it. And when you click download, it will automatically save a zip file with the full set of animations. This also works with the clipboard, so if you hit the copy button, that'll copy the animation into the clipboard, and we can use it with the other tools. So if I pop this over into the blend tool, the blend tool lets us combine multiple animations into a single animation, and I'll just paste the scrolling text as the pattern. Okay, and then we can use another animation to drive color in the text. So if we go to gradient, I can set up a quick gradient here. Let's set some colors. Here, remove that one. Okay, looks good. You can decide how many frames to do. If you match them, they'll be 1-to-1, and you can always adjust the speed. So the speed will be wrap these colors exactly one time around over the duration. If you say like speed of 4, it'll loop 4 times over that duration. And again, we just capture it. This time our speed is positive, so it's going to the right. And it'll capture the 300 frames. Okay, we can put this into the clipboard and go back over to the blend tool and paste that in as our gradient. And then now it's taking the gradient, applying the text, the scrolling text as a mask, and then you're getting the intersected colors. And you can use this technique for a lot of different things. These are the blend operations, so you can add the two together. So you can have your white text on top of a gradient, or subtract, and it will subtract away the color. And then there's some other things you can do up here, like reverse the order of the frames, invert the colors, add a color to the existing color. So you can set a base color. Or you can fill a color, so anywhere where it's black, it will use this color. You could do the same kind of thing if you just went back to the text tool, and then you just set a font color. So if we went with blue, and grab that. So this will capture the 300 frames. Copy this one. Okay, so it'll say pattern copied. Paste it in. There we go. Now we're subtracting the blue color, or we can add it, or intersect it. And it'll be a little bit darker because it's only grabbing the blue channel and not the red and green. Another way to set this blue color is you can just use the white color. I'll capture that and turn on the preview, and you can use these different operations to modify the captured pixels. So we could say, oh, we want to multiply the color by blue, and that's another way to create the blue on the fly. Using these effect operations is another way you can modify the color. Another thing that you can do is using the canvas filters. So if we want to set a color, we can turn on the sepia, you can drive up the saturation. There we go. You can overdrive it. So these are max with sliders, but if I want to add an extra 0 here, and then use the hue slider, you can adjust the colors this way. And these work in combination with the other tools, so if we set the outline thickness, there we go. We can also adjust the hue of these. We shorten this word. Another thing we can do is increase the font spacing. If you hover the canvas and hit F, it will full screen, so you can see the canvas full screened. Escape. We can adjust our font spacing a little bit more. You can click and drag on the canvas. You can zoom with the scroll wheel or zoom out, and that will let you know how much is wrapping. So we can adjust the font spacing a little bit more. There we go. And then we can make sure that we're starting on the H. There's that font Here we can see the Y mirroring for that bottom row of the underglow on the keyboard. You can also switch between different fonts. So I put some different serif fonts in here. You can adjust the rotation of the font and the direction. So if I turn on the frame offset, the direction is the direction that it's scrolling. So you can get a slight offset. And we can lower the font spacing a little bit. There we go. You can also adjust the rotation, so it'll keep. Zoom out here. So it'll move in the direction and then rotate so that you can level it out. You can also use the other mirroring, so you can mirror on the X and do some interesting mirroring type things. There's also an option for spinning. So if I set the speed to 0, there we go, we can spin. Spin -1 is spin counterclockwise exactly 1 time over the duration of the frames. Spin with a positive number. Spin clockwise 1 time. Okay, so that's a little overview of the text tool and using the text tool with the blend tool to create interesting scrolling text Chroma animations. Okay, and thanks for watching.